Previously on Oxventure presents Blades in the Dark, Kasimir and Edvard attend CAPCON, a showcase of marvels in the field of taxicab technology. The pair are out to steal the secret of the Clelland company's incredible new goat, with Kasimir sneaking under the demonstration stage to get an up-close look at an intriguing piece of machinery. What happens next? Let's find out.
Kasimir, you wanted a devil's bargain for investigating this machinery.
Yes, please.
And a devil's bargain you shall have. Let's make it quite straightforward. Let's say that you can add an extra dice to this study roll, but regardless of what happens, you, in the process of investigating it, are going to get covered in a conspicuous amount of grease and grime.
Oh, yeah, fine.
Okay, cool.
Curse you, devil!
Sorry, I mean,
oh wait, hang on. Did I get to get the balance?
I meant acid. You
sorry.
get covered in a conspicuous
No,
amount of acid.
What I meant was, Kasimir, regardless of what happens, your arm is going to get chewed up in the mechanism.
oh, fine, yeah. I say fine solely because I feel like getting covered in grease and grime.
Yeah,
Like pretty par for the
grease and
course for
grime.
Kasimir. It's probably only later does he go, oh, this is going to make it quite difficult to be inconspicuous. But you know what? It's a tasty devil's bargain. It's fair, Satan. Here we go. That's a 6.
Hey, fantastic. All right, you get elbow deep in this machinery.
God, I hope it isn't the goat.
You get elbow deep in this goat.
At least I'll work out what it eats.
Yeah, that's true.
The evidence is right here. Anyway, sorry.
Ooh. It's not the goat. It's a treadmill. It's a kind of series of like overlapping kind of bronze hammered bronze plates in a sort of caterpillar tread, and there are several sorts of pistons on each corner. You can tell from your extremely good and thorough investigation of the mechanism that once activated, this treadmill is going to be raised up onto the stage, and you imagine it will be for a demonstration of speed of some kind.
Okay.
The treadmill is quite large, and in fact, it's you know how big a regular Acrosian goat is that would pull a cab, and this is about sort of double, maybe even a little bit more, kind of that width. It's your arm span. This treadmill, width-wise.
Okay, this is going to bear with me on this, but you know how on the cabbies' sort of carts they have those little blankets spread underneath the posterior of the goat in order to catch any leavings they have?
Yes.
Is there any such mechanism on the treadmill? Is there a poo hopper, I guess is what I'm asking.
Is there a poo hopper? What kind of games master, nay, man would I be if I said no?
Okay.
Yes, there's a poo hopper. What do you think the Clelland company wants? I mean, this thing, you haven't seen it yet, but Bessie, she sounds like she's huge. Probably like the waste produced by Bessie is one of the things that would put off the general public from it ever entering general use.
Okay.
If they knew about it, so it's something that they are keen to cover up. Yeah, towards at the back of the there's a sort of discreet funnel at the back of the treadmill.
Okay.
Discreet funnel. Yeah.
I look mournfully at my jacket, which is already very grimy, and I kind of mutter, "In for a penny," and I would like to fill my pockets with goat poo, please. Just on the off chance that it can be examined and we can work out from that what the goat eats.
Yeah, you're absolutely along the right lines. Yeah, I tell you what, I'll roll for this. And I'll tell you what I'm rolling. I'm just going to roll a d6, and it'll be whether they clean it between demonstrations. 1, 2, or 3, it's clean. 4, 5, or 6, it's full of poop.
Yeah.
And that's what we want.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a 5.
Yes.
Let's get poopy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, fortune roll.
Yes. Okay. Right. So yeah, there's a modest amount of sludgy leavings still kind of swilling around in this thing. It's easy for you to find and identify, Kasimir, because it smells awful.
Great. Tremendous.
So what are you doing? Are you just scooping it into your pockets, or
just whistling the CAPCON theme to myself and filling my pockets with goat droppings.
Yep, fabulous. At this point, Edvard, let's cut to you.
So at this, I've already moved away from the Astor stand, and now, remembering that I do have a purpose here beyond just enjoying myself at Capcom, I'm starting to walk over to where the goat is being kept. I am, it must be said, wearing a great deal of Capcom merch now. I'm wearing a Capcom t-shirt, a Capcom hat. I've got a collection of souvenir Capcom coins jingling around in my pocket.
Yeah.
Capcom fan.
Lanyard.
Lanyard. Papercraft model of the building that I will be constructing later, and I'm enormously looking forward to as a project. That's in my pocket, ready for later. And I have just a large, oversized Capcom tote that is full of free things being handed out by people on various stands. So posters and key rings, lanyards, flyers, all that sort of thing. So I'm labouring under the weight of that as well. And I'm heading over to the goat stand because I understand they're going to demonstrate this great goat soon, and I'm keen to check it out.
This great goat. Yeah, okay, well, you're over at the Clelland stand, and why don't we say it is time for the demonstration? So, at the appointed hour, at this you can barely move, Edvard. The hall is completely packed. There are more people trying to get in, but security is they're calling it at this point. They're like, no, we can't let any more people in for fire reasons.
There's going to be fire reasons.
Yeah.
So the lights dim and someone strides up onto the stage and says, "Welcome, one and all, to a demonstration of the greatest innovation in cab technology for a generation." And there's a fanfare starts up, and a drum roll goes. Introducing the enormous, the powerful, the incredibly fast Bessie! And a chant goes up, Bessie, Bessie. And the sort of there was a curtain at the back of this stage, which now falls whoom, to reveal a huge cage with the biggest goat you have ever seen in it. It's a frankly enormous, muscular goat. Several burly men appear to sort of open the cage and take Bessie's reins, and Bessie is sort of led a little stubbornly kind of out onto the stage. And now a demonstration of Bessie's incredible speed. Citizens of Volisport, you will be used to travelling around the city at approximately this pace. And a regular-sized goat is led up onto the stage with a... Kasimir, you only just get your poop hand out in time as this mechanism goes and is sort of raised up onto the stage in a hiss of steam. This goat starts kind of like walking sedately on the treadmill.
Boo!
Yeah, you are not the only one booing it. This goat looks kind of sad, doesn't know what it did so wrong, but it is led away.
And killed.
And ceremonially executed. And now bear witness to the future of cab transportation, the incredible Bessie! And Bessie is sort of led onto the treadmill. Kasimir, you could where Bessie walks, you feel the whole stage kind of groan, like you actually have to sort of like flatten yourself against the ground because it's kind of shaking and trembling a bit. Bessie takes her place on the treadmill and it starts to kind of like spool up, and Bessie just keeps. First she's striding, and now she's sort of like galloping, and now she's kind of like full-on sort of goat sprinting on this treadmill with a furious stare. The crowd is, at first, they're cheering, they're amazed, they become almost a little frightened. The science is so advanced, it's akin to magic.
Can I study this goat and see if I can deduce anything about its origin or the science that has been applied to it, based off what I can see?
Of course you can, Edvard.
Yeah, so I've only got one dot in study, so let me just... I'm not going to push myself, I don't care that much. That's a 5.
Yeah, okay. The goat is very, very muscular, looks maybe a little bit more ill-tempered than most goats you've seen, although all goats are fairly ill-tempered. You're sort of staring at the goat, trying to figure out, like, what is it about? Is it the large kind of muscles? You can see kind of the muscular look of the goat. Is it the large sort of swiveling eyes? What is it about this goat that's a little off? And then you realise that it's not the goat at all, actually. It's the man who's walking away from Bessie, one of the ones who led her onto the what's it called? Treadmill. And you notice that he appears to be trying to do it a little covertly, but you see him just take a cloth and just wipe down an enormous, now empty syringe. And as the flannel comes away, you think you can detect like some sort of red sort of spots on the flannel, and he is gone behind the curtain and moves backstage.
Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, I'll make note of that. Not much I can do while the demonstration's going on, but yeah, stay that.
Cool. The demonstration doesn't last too long. The treadmill is sort of slowed down again, and a man comes out. He's got like the same man comes out. He's got a little. He's now holding up a sign. Is "How fast was she, boys?" And a sort of man who is pretending to basically do some official measuring, but it's always roughly the same speed. So, Edvard, he's just sort of. This is just a bit of showmanship.
Just to sound impressive.
This is just shenanigans. Yeah. He goes, "It was this fast," and he holds up a sign with a high number on it, and the crowd goes, "Ooh." That's right. This time next year, ask your city council to approve the use of the Clelland's incredible acrostian innovation, Bessie. And Bessie is sort of led back into the cage. The curtain goes down, and the crowd starts to sort of disperse. Everyone impressed.
Right. Well, I should probably try and find Kasimir and let him know what I've learned. Don't know what he's been doing. Probably checking out all the wonderful exhibitions, I expect. Anyway, so I suppose my plan is to wander aimlessly until I find Kasimir.
Sure. Well,
God, what is that terrible smell?
You sort of hanging back near the stage as the crowd disperses. You do sort of notice, like, oh man, this there's quite a whiff coming off this whole Clelland area. Kasimir, what are you doing under there?
I would like to proceed stealthily and stinkily toward the backstage area and keep staying underneath the scaffolding.
Sure.
I want to try and pop out.
As you sort of leopard crawl awkwardly in this, Edvard, you see just underneath the frills of the stage, just for 1 second, a very familiar cane just kind of pokes out for a second and is quickly yanked back.
I walk over, like look around, and then walk over. Hello, Kasimir?
What?
What are you doing down there?
What's it look like I'm doing?
Well, it looks like you're rolling around in goat poop, friend.
You can't see each other. There's this frill.
It smells like you're rolling around in goat poop, friend.
Nothing wrong with your nose, mate.
Okay, well, to determine what it's been eating from that is genius, old boy.
Thank you very much.
Can you get out of there? Are you trapped down there?
Well, no, I can move all right. But my plan was get backstage, pretend I'm some sort of mechanic, but that I've noticed unusual droppings, and I'm going to ask, what are you even feeding this thing? In a sort of judgmental fashion. I mean, that's if I get caught. Plan A was sneak around. Plan C is hit someone.
I've noticed myself when the demonstration was going on. There's a fellow there with a big syringe full of something that he's been putting into the goat, and I think that's what's giving it these incredible goat powers. So he went backstage with the syringe. If we can find that syringe, I think we can find what is giving this goat these incredible powers. So I think backstage is the place to be, old boy.
There's plenty of room under here. Come on, get some poo on you.
Well, yes, again, okay, well, I have taken off my nice jacket and I am wearing a Capcom promotional t-shirt, so I suppose. I got one for you, actually, Kasimir, if you want to put it on.
Oh, amazing.
Here you go. Thought you might like it.
I'll change into that later. As he comes under, I'm going to open my jacket and ask him to tuck it in there for me.
Yeah.
On an internal pocket.
Edvard, if you're joining Kasimir under the stage,
Well, can you get to backstage from under the stage?
yes, but
Okay.
going under the stage is not an ordinary thing that an ordinary attendee at a convention would do.
Well, how obvious will it be? Are people looking at me?
The room is still pretty crowded. In fact, it might even be a little trickier than because it's a little it's still crowded, but less crowded than when Kasimir sort of ducked under. When Kasimir was doing it, all eyes were on the goat. So
Yeah.
it's certainly a risky move. But that shouldn't hold you back from attempting it.
I glance back at the Astor stand. Is any smoke coming off it yet?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, damn. All right. Okay. What's this level entrance to backstage look like?
Cleaner.
Oh, okay. There's a so to the back right of the stage, there is another little desk where a couple of sort of Clelland representatives in wearing Clelland vests are sort of sat, and behind the stage it's a walled off area. There are kind of maybe like 8 foot high sort of wood panelled barriers that kind of block off the sort of private Clelland area, and as far as you can tell, this is the official entrance to.
Right. Well, that's going to be even trickier. All right. In that case, I'll attempt to join Kasimir under the stage.
Nice. So tell me how you're rolling for this. If you want to push yourself, if you want Kasimir to help you, that kind of thing.
I'm
Yes.
happy to help.
So this will be a prowl roll, and I will push myself.
Okay.
I don't have any dots in prowl.
I'm going to help as well then, so you'll be
Cool.
rolling 2.
2.
So Kasimir, take 1 stress for that.
Yeah.
I think. Yep.
Okay. That's a 5 and a 4.
Fantabulous. How are you helping Kasimir?
I am just lifting up. I'm with my cane, just lifting up the sash.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, and Edvard, you manage to you sneak in with absolutely no drama. There is a security guard over in the room that you're leaving, some distance away, who saw that there was a person there, stood by the stage, and then they looked around for a bit. And when they looked back, that person was gone. They didn't see you go under or anything. It's nothing too suspicious. But I'm filling in another clock on the all-purpose kicked out
Right.
thing. That's 2 pieces filled now of 6. And you're both under the stage.
Yeah, both under the stage. All right. So should we try and make our way into the backstage area?
Yeah.
Gosh, this is exciting.
I could lead a prowl group action, which would
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, that could be helpful.
Oh, I mean, yeah. So yeah, do you want to roll prowl, Andy, and then I'll take the stress if you
Yep.
whiff it.
It's a bit less risky when there's just 2 of you, I suppose, than when you're leading. Okay. Registering that face Kasimir's made. Interesting face.
Well, I rolled a 6.
Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 3. So we can take the 6,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
and I'll take a stress.
Yep.
Oh.
Kasimir, as you sort of begin, you both begin leopard crawling. You go to you put all of your weight on your left hand briefly, forgetting that it's absolutely slick with goat feces, and it just slides out from under you, and you sort of roll sideways, and Edvard just puts out a hand to sort of steady and reassure you.
All right. Steady, old man.
Yeah. I'm gonna sort of baby my leg as I roll back over. Sorry, it's the feces, you know.
Yes, yeah, yes, I can tell.
And as you roll, as you make it sort of to the rearmost sort of frilly curtained down bit of the stage, you both manage to sneak your way out of there without alerting anyone, and you have a look around. And here's what you see: you're in the backstage area of one of the most exciting high-profile booths in Capcom, and to be honest, it's a little bit of an anticlimax. This is clearly a place of business, not showmanship. This is where deals are being cut. This is probably where people are getting some sort of behind the scenes information about Bessie. To your right is the rear of the bench, the kind of official entrance that Edvard saw earlier. There's a man and a woman kind of stationed there. They have not noticed you, but they are probably the closest people to you. And then there are 4 sort of individual cubicles in this space, each behind their own door. They look like kind of meeting rooms, and then in the center there's a little table and a couple of sofas with nobody on them, but that looks like a kind of waiting area for people taking meetings. You can hear voices inside the cubicles, some of the cubicles, I should say.
Do the cubicles have roofs?
No.
They don't. Interesting. So what's the play here, old man? I think possibly if we were to get high up, we could look down into those cubicles and we could see what's in them.
It's not a bad shout. I was thinking I might try and just go straight for the pen. Maybe split up.
All right, sounds good to me. I am gonna look around and see if there's a way I can get to higher ground to give me a view inside the meeting rooms to see if I can. I'm trying to locate that syringe.
No need to roll for this, I don't think. In terms of a way to get up to higher ground, there aren't really any stairs or anything like this. This is all kind of very much on one level, and it's right in the middle of this gigantic room. What I will say, I suppose, is that the roof, which is this kind of vaulted glass thing that's kind of letting in loads and loads of light, has some very, very elaborate kind of ironwork supporting it. It's quite high up. It's a couple of stories.
Right.
This is a big old room. But no, there's no staircase or anything like that.
Okay. So I would have to leave the backstage area to climb on to get up there, basically.
Yes, I suppose so. Yeah.
Right. That's annoying. There's not any like boxes or anything I can drag into making a sort of higher position for myself.
Oh, there are.
Anything
I mean,
like
yeah, there are boxes. There's all sorts of like a corporate detritus in here. There's some crates. There's actually a few crates of what look like kind of hay or something. There's bales, which are clearly to be sort of fed to Bessie or to line Bessie's cage.
Okay.
There is stuff like that. There's stuff around if you wanna.
Yeah, I would like to start trying to build a sort of little tower of boxes that I can climb up without trying not to draw attention to myself.
Cool.
Trying to look like someone just moving crates around for normal purposes if anyone were to look over here.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Make me a roll for that. Make it whatever you want.
I would say this is finesse.
Yeah, that sounds fine. Make me the roll, but don't tell me what the result is yet. First, let's go to Kasimir.
I would actually like to call a flashback.
Great.
Nice.
And I would like to visit an NPC who is marked on my sheet as a positive friend. It's Salia, who is an information broker.
Oh, Salia, yeah.
And I would like to do a consort with them to basically pick up sort of some phrases I can throw in to convince people that I'm in with the Cabbies Union.
Yep, okay.
Almost like like Cockney rhyming slang, but
Yep.
in Volisport rhyming slang.
Yep.
Oh my god. It's a 3.
Okay, that's fine.
Do I need to? Well, I mean,
You don't necessarily need to roll for this. I'll tell you what.
It's a
if you
flashback,
want,
so stress.
it's a flashback you can take. It feels like a 1 stress flashback for me. It's not that.
Okay, all right.
It's not that big an ass. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I will slightly factor in the 3 and say that you only remember 2 of the many phrases.
Perfect.
At this meeting, you were sort of like a vast lexicon of cabbie vernacular was explained to you, but unfortunately, someone brought out some fortified wine, and now actually you can only remember 2 phrases, which were "cabs are laughing," which is a cute phrase for when which means when you've managed to sneakily overcharge a customer, and the other phrase is rains. How many was that?
6.
Rains.
Yeah, 6. And it has to be 6, or else they'll know that you're not proper. Each of those reigns represents one of the 6 founding members of the Cab Drivers Union. And as you know from this conversation you had, if you visit the Cabbies Union Guild Hall, hung above the sort of the entrance are the leather reins of the 6 honoured, revered founding members. And reins is a cabbie expression to just mean general good luck, to wish good fortune on another cabbie.
All right, great. The key to sneaking around in an area you're not supposed to be is to walk around like you belong there. So I'm just gonna start walking towards whatever area looks most likely to lead to the holding pen, based on my internal compass.
Yep, no worries. It's pretty obvious actually, because you've just come out facing onto the back of the stage, and there are some steps leading up onto the back of the stage to the kind of upraised area, which is a few feet higher.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the cage that Bessie's in. Bessie is currently in there facing away from you. It's not a very big cage. Poor Bessie doesn't have room to turn around, so Bessie's butt is facing you.
Okay. I'd like to go and see if there's basically any feed around. I want to see what Bessie's eating.
Yeah, no worries. No need to roll for that. You march up there confidently.
Mm-hmm.
The only two people who at this point who could spot you are the two who are on the official front desk, and in my internal geography at least, their cones of vision are not anywhere near you.
Great.
You go up to Bessie and you start looking around. You see there is a trough of food in Bessie's cage. It's inside the cage, so you can't really reach it, but you look inside and you see sort of potatoes and assorted vegetables, some cucumbers in there, some cabbages, a bit of hay. There's nothing that looks out of the ordinary, to be honest.
I'm just going to look her dead in the eyes and go, "Blimey, go, you eat better than I do." But
Bessie hisses at you.
All right, mate. All right.
Territorially, she's kind of, starts eating while maintaining eye contact with you, Kasimir.
Okay, I mean, I'm still reeling from the realization that a goat can hiss. So...
this one can.
Oh, God. I guess I'd like to just continue to poke around the room to see if I can find the syringe or any evidence of whatever Bessie's being injected with.
Make me a roll for that, of your choosing.
If I said that I am doing that thing where you're extremely careful, A, to put things back where they were, and B, not to get poo on them, could I argue that this is a prowl roll?
Certainly.
Great. That's a 3! That's a 3!
Cool.
I'm cursed.
Cool.
That's a 3.
No worries. Here's what you find. You find a clipboard with sort of dates, measurements. There's a graph on it. There's a column that says injection time, and then another column next to it which is max speed. And these things are kind of plotted kind of down like this. As you're looking at this and studying at it, you do indeed smear it with poo, but that's not your biggest problem, because the person who Edvard saw earlier comes out from front of stage, sort of pops behind the curtain and locks eyes with you, Kasimir, and goes, "What the bloody hell are you doing here? Who are you? You're not supposed to be here."
Rains, mate. Just chill out, all right?
Right. Okay.
Look, I was hoping to speak to somebody because, frankly, I've come to you as a concerned citizen, as a friend. I was hired to stay under the stage, look after the treadmill in between demonstrations.
Yeah.
Right? All good. Job's a good one. Treadmill's working beautifully, but
what's your name? I don't remember you on the roster.
Oh, am I not down on the roster? I'm with the union, mate.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Were you at the last meeting?
No, I wasn't. No, I was laid up. I gestured with my leg. I was laid up.
I
you
see.
Yeah.
I see.
Know,
when you get into trouble, when a customer kicks off, when you need the union.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, you need the help, but you won't attend the meetings. Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, let's not be like that, mate.
You're right. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Rains.
No, I understand, mate. I understand. Cabs are laughing. The job's a good one.
Cabs are laughing.
But listen, mate. As you can see, I'm not averse to getting my hands dirty. But
so I see.
I wonder if I was thinking, maybe this goat's got a dicky tummy, because some of the leavings, mate, they're beyond belief. And I thought, anything that's going to help advance the cabin industry, I'm all for. This seems like a great invention, but not if goats are, mucking up the whole city, and is potentially doing them harm. So I thought I'd come and speak to you and just ask what you're feeding it. I mean, what's going into this thing to make it? Because it looks like great stuff. Don't get me wrong, that thing is fast, but look at me,
mate. You'd have a dicky tummy as well if you added knew what they was putting into poor old Bessie here.
Well,
trust me.
What is it?
You were there on day one of the convention, weren't you? You were at training.
Oh.
So you know not to ask me about what they're injecting into Her Majesty over here, and you know that we're not supposed to talk about it in public.
Forgive me, mate. Of course. Loose lips, trip goats, and all that.
Yeah, as the old saying goes.
I just, it's the last day. Everyone's getting a bit loose, isn't they? Come on, mate.
That does happen.
Right. So, all right. Well,
look, if you have concerns, then you can raise it with the with what's his name, that creepy fellow they have in the testing room. But don't say that I sent you there. Don't leave me out of it. I'm here to do a job. I'm here to get paid. I want none of your trouble. I don't want none of your L raising.
All right, mate. All right, that's fine. But you won't tell anyone about this, will you?
No, I won't tell anyone about it. It's the least I can do for a fellow union member.
Yeah.
Rains.
Yeah. Too right, mate. Which way's the testing room again?
Well, it's that one there.
Oh, of course.
He points just one of the cubicle doors.
Sorry, mate. It's the fumes from the, it turns me head.
It's all right, but I mean, you know that it's completely forbidden for anyone except old creepy face to step foot in there.
Of course I do, mate. But it's creepy face I want to talk to outside the room. I'll give a polite knock. I'll have a chat with him.
All right. Well, good luck to you then, mate.
All right.
Good luck with
rains,
that.
mate. All right. Yeah. Sidle off to the testing room.
Cool. I tell you what, I'll tick a box.
Yeah.
Just 'cause,
I'll say.
That was a long old conversation. There we go. It's ticked. Yeah. But you've identified the science room, whatever that is. It probably has a fancier name that the person you were talking to didn't know. Let's say that. Edvard, where are you at this point?
Well, I rolled a 5 and a 3 for the box stacking
Nice.
finesse action to peer into the rooms to try and determine which room I should be going to.
Yep, you have done some very good and some very sneaky, some very officious. A bit like Kasimir, you're just doing it. You're in a manner as if it's something you've been told to do officiously. You're not even being that quiet. You're kind of grunting and groaning. In fact, the people on the front desk look over at you and go and sort of tut in a kind of, keep it, please.
Sorry. Yep, will do.
We have clients coming through here,
Understood. Keep it down.
You manage to form a few steps up to peek into one of the cubicles. As luck would have it, it's the exact cubicle that was just pointed out to Kasimir as the science cubicle. And as you look inside, Edvard, your eyes light up at the array of scientific equipment inside of there. There are Bunsen burners going. There are sort of glass tubes with colourful liquids kind of flowing through, and there is a man in a lab coat with little sort of circular glasses. What do you call those glasses? The kind of
like pince-nez.
Pince-nez, yeah, pince-nez on there. A very tall and thin and gaunt man, and he's sort of hunched over his own clipboard and he's looking at stuff. There is a row of syringes in a rack of the kind that you briefly glimpsed, Edvard, but these ones are full, and they are full of some sort of murky, dark red liquid that is kind of
Great. All right.
seems to be swirling around of its own accord in there.
Okay, I peek back down the corridor to see if I can see Kasimir. Is he around?
Yeah. Kasimir is in view. Kasimir's
Okay.
just up on the stage.
Kasimir.
I'll come over.
Yeah. In this room here, this is the room where they've got all the syringes, where the stuff they're putting into the goat. There's a scientist in there. I just had a look in the top. There's one guy in there. I think if you were to knock on the door and keep him talking, I could probably climb in the other side, get a syringe, climb back out before he has a chance to notice what's going on. If you can keep him talking.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, all right, sounds good. All right. So I go back to the top of the boxes, where I think I can probably clamber over the top of the partition wall, lower myself down into the room, and then that's the plan. I'm going to wait for Kasimir to get him talking.
Okay, great. So, Kasimir, you don't have to roll to knock. Edvard, you will have to roll for the getting in, obviously. But in what order do we want to do these things?
The knocking first, I think, so he's distracted.
Okay.
I'm gonna give give quite a frantic knock.
Okay. You hear a voice going, "What? What?"
Come quickly, sir. Please. Rains.
I'm not part of your disgusting union. I've come from a higher calling. If you could quit that awful street parlance around me. I'm trying to do something a little bit more sophisticated in here.
Yeah, all right, mate. I'm a scab, but either way, your sophisticated something is about to kill that goat. It is choking. I need your help.
Choking? What? What? That's impossible. You hear, like, sort of from inside the room sound. There's like tinkly glass sound. Things are being put down, basically.
Okay.
And the door opens, and this sort of tall, wiry gentleman in a lab coat is there, and he goes, "Choking? She shouldn't be choking. It shouldn't be possible."
Yeah. All right. It's still happening, though, mate.
Right. Fine. He grabs. He grabs. I was thinking maybe he grabs the syringes to take with him. He grabs a couple of the syringes, and he follows you out, Kasimir. Like, show me this choking, then.
All right.
Okay, now that he's gone, I'm going to try and climb down into the room.
Cool. He has fully gone. Yeah. So you're in
How?
a controlled position. Sorry, go on, Kasimir.
I was going to say, how visible is the sort of the area, the holding area that we're going to from the desk?
It's not super visible. They would have to like walk out. They would have to leave their seats and kind of move around to see it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Sorry. Carry on.
That's right. Yeah, Edvard, make me a roll just so that you don't completely stack it. It's a controlled position. This.
Yeah. Okay. That's a 5.
5. Yeah, fine. You slip down. You're in the room surrounded
Okay,
by
I would like
all of
to
this stuff.
grab one of the syringes. I don't want to take the whole syringe, but I would like to express some of the liquid from the syringe into one of the empty vials in my alchemical bandolier. So I have some of it, but it's not extremely obvious that anything's been taken.
Very good, very nice. Yes, that's no need to roll for that either. That is done.
Okay, cool. And now, I think I should just be able to let myself out the door, rather than attempt a tricky climb out.
Yeah, I'm doing cones of vision in my head. Yeah, I think you can. At this point, let's cut to Kasimir. You've walked up to the cage that Bessie is in, and this tall fellow with the clipboard and the syringes walks up, gets up on the stage, goes, "I really don't see why you must be wasting my time." Takes one look at Bessie and goes and looks at you with suddenly a very suspicious look, because it is super obvious that Bessie is not in fact choking.
I'm going to say, "I'll show you some choking, mate," and then I'm going to duck under his arm and put him in a sleeper hold.
Oh yes! All right, let's do it.
I'm going to call this finesse rather than skirmish, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And
It sounds like a very very stealth hit.
I'm going to push myself.
Yep.
12 stress again. That's fine. That's not a problem. That's all right. Please, dice, just behave for once. That's a 6.
Hey! Amazing. Congratulations. Yes. Well, you tell me how it looks.
He kind of raises his arm to be like, "Well," and I use that. I sort of trap it with my right arm and just gently sort of give him a little night-night. And I'd like to roll him under the table where all of the sort of accoutrement is, and then just casual as you like, armful of hay, and just sort of scatter it over him. So he is hidden in a hastily assembled bale of hay.
Bale of hay, yeah.
And then I think I'm just gonna walk straight out again, like whistling, dusting my hands off, whistling the Capcom theme.
Yep. Sounds good.
Do I actually know that he's got? I'm going to pocket one of the syringes that the
Yep, that's fine.
scientist guy has as well. and then just sort of I'm gonna just try and leave, walk past the front desk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as you walk down from the stage, you are now in the same place as Edvard.
Oh, okay.
So you can try and leave together, or
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a big thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, grab a box, an empty box, and take them out.
cool. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So just carrying out a couple of empty boxes.
Yeah. All right. Yes. If you're carrying boxes and there's two of you, as you come up to the back of the two people who are kind of like on the front desk, they're going to turn around and go, I'm sorry, where did you come from?
We were just dropping off the hay. We're going back for some more. These boxes are empty now. We need to go and refill them.
I've been mucking out Bessie's stall as well.
Well, yes, I can smell that, but where are your lanyards?
Sorry, are we supposed to use a different exit?
Oh,
is this
sorry.
The wrong...
Oh, is this press entrance?
Yes, this is press clients.
Oh,
sorry.
blimey. Oh, sorry. We're so
Which
sorry.
way should we be going?
We can avoid getting goat feces all over that.
Sorry.
All right. I pull my hands out my pockets, like deliberately being like, all right, and I'm gonna sort of make as if to put them on the desk. Be like, now, which way should we be going?
Get your hands off the desk.
I'm sorry. If you just tell us which way we should be going.
Oh my gosh. There's another. The service exit is through that door. That she points to one of the cubicles. The bloke who's also there says, "Oi, Alice, they ain't got any lanyards," and their eyes start to widen in panic, and suddenly there is a loud cracking explosion sound, and screams are heard distantly, and people start to shout, "Fire! Fire! A humiliating fire at Amadeus Astor's booth!"
Oh no!
Oh, it's never the Astor's booth
Oh,
again.
another a humiliating Astor accident? How is that man still in business? I cry as I run towards the fire exit.
The two people who are sort of barring your exit now, they're looking around in kind of panic. You can tell from their faces that they think it's a pretty massive coincidence that something unusual is happening here and something unusual is also happening there, but they are struggling to sort of connect the two. But they're more concerned with self-preservation. So yeah, they start to sprint. There is everyone is panicking now.
All right.
Everyone is rushing towards the CapCon exits.
Yeah, let's make a beeline for the nearest fire exit.
Yeah, as you head to the nearest
Shouting
fire
as much
exit,
as I can that Astor is a menace to society, his invention should never be trusted, and anyone with half a brain could have seen this coming.
Yeah.
That guy's right.
That sort of does start to ripple out through the crowd. Edvard, what you know of Amadeus Astor, which is, I think, a darn sight more than you would like to know of Amadeus Astor. You know that Amadeus is probably not here personally, but is certainly not going to let this go and will be desperate to get to the bottom of this.
I'm imagining it now, and it's delicious.
The nearest fire exit. This building does not have enough fire exits. You are suddenly realizing you're heading out like to the front, the way you came in, the one that faces out onto the canal. It's a brick wall. There are one set of double doors, and then like windows. Regular, like tall, nice ornate glass with the nice ironwork. Security people are like quickly being overwhelmed, trying to usher people out of these double doors, and there's quite a queue forming. More security people are sort of are appearing to try and like calm the crowd down.
Well, this is ridiculous, I shout, and I throw the crate I have still in my hands through a window.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, that's fine. It just happens. Yeah, the crate soared through that. All of a sudden, everyone is throwing what they have through windows and like crawling their way out through the windows to try and escape as well. Are you going out the windows, or are you waiting to go through the door?
I'm getting out as quick as possible, I think.
Yeah, you're out through the windows, and yeah, now you're suddenly standing on the street. The security people are there. They're saying, "Please, nobody go anywhere. This appears to be a criminal act of potential sabotage, or so assert the Astor employees, and Lord knows we trust them."
Sure.
So if please everyone could just stay where they are. They're having a real hard time though, trying like keep everyone in the sort of like outside area, outside the docks, in the front of this old decommissioned tall ship.
Kasimir, we need to get out of here. Have you got any ideas?
Didn't bring a Molotov this time.
Well, I think the fire's already taken care of.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, let's just get the crowd to rush him. There's loads of us.
But I mean, how are we going to get away?
Just then you hear a shout. Someone is stood on that tall ship, like out in front, and they're going, "Oi, oi, Kasimir, 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 it's me, it's me," and they are waving a big gondolier.
Oh, okay. I scan the crowd looking for someone who vaguely resembles Amadeus Astor, who is quite a well-known figure. He's often to be spotted wearing a crimson cravat, and his side whiskers are very impressive. Is there anyone who sort of fits that description?
There've got to be cosplayers at things like this.
Yeah.
There are. I tell you what. There is a 4-piece vocal harmony group. There is a barbershop quartet called the Astors. That perform a few times daily at the Amadeus Astor stand, and they are all dressed like their CEO and hero. Not bees.
See?
No, actually, now it seems like it would be awful for them to be dressed as bees.
Yeah.
But I imagine my perspective will change next Friday.
Okay, I would like to point at one of them and go, "There he is! It's Amadeus Astor, the one who tried to kill us all with his fire!"
The crowd turns, they're going, "Amadeus, it isn't true, is it? Your wonderful inventions would never hurt anyone, would they?"
Let's
this
go.
barbershop quartet is indeed being rushed. Meanwhile, this scrawny bloke on the ship is still going, Kasimir, over here, it's your ride.
I'm going to try and sneak
It's the
over
secret
to...
ride you asked for. It's your secret gondola. Come on, Kasimir. And your mate. Oh, is that Edvard who you were telling me about?
Shush, old man.
Let's,
All right,
we shuffle over there, taking advantage of the pandemonium as swiftly as possible without drawing further attention to ourselves.
You vault awesomely onto the sort of tall ship. Kasimir, I'm imagining that your cane is kind of used a little bit to sort of help you with perform this swiveling, leaping maneuver, and you're up onto the deck of the decommissioned ship. From this vantage point, you can see that on the other side there is indeed a gondola waiting for you.
Okay.
And the scrawny fellow who's kind of jumping up and down. A security person over the dock shouts, "Oi, where are you going? You can't leave yet. You've been told you can't leave yet. What if you had something to do with this?" And the gondolier shouts, "Oh, don't worry then. It's just Kasimir and Edvard. I'm getting them out of here, secret like." And he helps you down onto his gondola, and you are punted to safety.
I slap him silly once we are round the corner.
You tell this,
Mr. Casimir!
You tell this fellow my name as well, Kasimir.
I was just having a chat. Yeah, well, I thought I could trust this little twerp to be circumspect.
Oh, Mr. Casimir, I'll never do it again. I won't let you down.
Too
Or
right
you,
you
Mr.
won't,
Edvard Lumiere. I'll tell everyone I know that Mr. Edvard Lumiere is indeed a very secretive fellow who... Don't look for him because he's secret.
Now, you listen to me, right? I'm going to grab him by the front of his shirt and be like, "You're not going to tell anyone about this, are you?
No.
You're not going to tell anybody that I was here, or that he was here, or that we did anything untoward at Capcom. Do you get that?"
I will tell anyone who asks that I have not seen Kasimir or Edvard recently, and they weren't at Capcom, so stop asking.
All right. You shake on it?
Yep. And it shakes.
Okay. As our hands join, there is sort of like from between our palms, a sort of smoke goes up, and also on his wrist and my wrist as the stylized image of an anchor appears on both of our skin. This is a spider special ability called Ghost Contract, which says when you shake on a deal, you and your partner, human or otherwise, both bear a mark of your oath. If either breaks the contract, they take level 3 harm, cursed. And I want to tell this gondolier all about it. Be like, "Yeah, too right, you won't talk to anyone. You should know what that is."
He doesn't understand. Having had the whole thing explained, he is quite confident that to the best of his ability, he is not going to break this vow.
Great.
You have lingering questions about what the best of his ability really means in practical terms, but you've certainly terrified him.
So my part of the bargain is I won't slap him around anymore.
That's more than fair.
Okay.
Yes, and you have completed the score. You have made it out with a with a sample of whatever weird stuff
2 samples.
they were injecting in.
Mine's almost certainly
2 samples.
contaminated, though, so we should definitely use Edvard's.
Yeah, that's true. So let's montage what happens next. Having had your names shouted around, the gang is going to take +2 heat. So, yeah, the gang has taken +2 heat. We won't go into details on exactly how that will manifest, but there you are. You get the sample to an address that was specified on the back of the note right from the beginning of the last episode, and you hear nothing more until one morning when you are out buying your paper, Edvard. You sort of flap it open and you see the headline: Clelland under pressure to fess up after Leviathan blood injection calamity chaos. Yeah, the headline writers aren't very good in Vona's Court, but they're trying their best. And as you read on, it turns out that the Clelland company was injecting
7 reasons the Clelland company is the worst of all time.
Sponsored by the Astor company.
That would be better.
7 times the Clelland Corporation did the most shocking things with Leviathan blood. Brackets. Number 5 was injecting them. Gameplay.
Number 5 will make you scream.
Yeah, number 5 will make you scream, and it was injecting it into Bessie to make her run faster, even though Leviathan blood is an extremely illegal and strictly regulated substance, and they shouldn't have been doing that. So they are in big trouble now. And the headline continues: sources. Clelland company says sources unreliable. Mysterious benefactors, all that kind of thing. So it's a murky business, but the Clelland company is in trouble, is facing enormous fines as a result of your work. And that's it. That's the end of the score. Anyone want to do any downtime stuff quickly?
I will almost certainly be relieving stress.
Cool.
Twice.
What's your current stress score?
12.
12. All right. So you're going to rub some ointments into that leg?
Yeah, almost certainly need to tend to my brace as well, because it's taken a knock and been covered in poo. So
yes,
insight.
There's a lot of poo in the mechanism.
Indeed, insight is my worst attribute. Left of the column, left of the line, I've only got 1 dot. So first time I'm relieving 3, and then another 3, so I clear 6 stress.
Oh, brilliant. Very nicely done.
Yeah,
Edvard?
I only took 1 stress, I think, in that, and I had 2 stress previously, so I still don't think my stress is high enough to risk overindulging.
That's fair enough. Maybe take another run at improving that line.
Yeah, so I'd like to use the time to try and improve my line launcher, so it doesn't burst into flames, and also maybe has some kind of cool gas bombs. Or something.
That was a 4-piece clock, I think. That I don't think you filled any pieces last time. So you want to use both downtime activities on this?
Yes, I don't think I've accrued enough stress yet to risk possibly overindulging.
Yeah, that's
if I
fine.
try and clear that. So, all right, here we go. Oh, no, lost 1.
This is your first Tinker roll, right?
Yes.
Cool.
That is a 3 and a 2. Again, I think I rolled that last time.
You've got 2 dots in Tinker, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you can do this again if you want.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
All right, let me do that again. That's a 4 and a 6 this time.
Oh, cool. All right, 6. You know what? I tell you what. For a 6, why don't we call that circle? Why don't we call that filled?
I think between the two of them, that's enough. I think.
Yeah, I think so. And you know what? Don't at me, people who know the rules. I'm calling it. It was only a 4-piece. It was only a 4-section clock. You tinker with it. You have upgraded this line launcher significantly. It can now shoot farther. It makes less noise, and it is very reliable.
And it doesn't burst into flames.
It less regularly bursts into flames.
In your face, Astor.
It hardly ever bursts into flames.
You know what does burst into flames a lot? Astor's inventions.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see what happened at the Capcom the other day?
Yeah.
That's the word that's going round, along with a great deal of drama and consternation concerning the Clelland company and what on earth was going on there. And who were the 2 mysterious figures who were definitely named Kasimir and Edvard, who were heard leaving. Cool. All right, and that will do it. Great job, both.
Thank you so much.
Thank
That
you,
was
Luke.
amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks
Terrific.
for a fun adventure.
Terrific heisting. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. If this is the first one of these that you're watching, then there's plenty more in a playlist, a link to which is hopefully on screen now. But if it's not, then we trust you to find it because you know what you're doing. You know your way around the
Yeah, it's a
internet.
puzzle.
Yeah,
it's a
come on.
challenge.
Yeah,
Can
consider
you
it
find
a
it?
sneaky
It's like National
puzzle.
Treasure.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it
Nicolas
is.
Cage.
Yeah. That's the score we'll do next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got to
yeah.
steal Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks very much, everyone. Check back next time, and thank you so much, Andy and Johnny. That was terrific.
That was great
Incredible role playing.
Sorry
from
about
both
all
of
the
you.
poo.
Never ever apologise for that.
It happens.
in any context.
It happens.
Bye-bye.
Bye.